Today I'm going to do something that's been highly requested of me. I'm going to be incredibly vain and just talk about myself. I mean, that's usually what I do anyway in these videos, but like I disguise it behind other things so that way it makes it seem like I'm less vain than I really am. Today we're going to talk about basically me. I don't know why, but it's been highly requested on YouTube, Twitter, and Snapchat that you want to know more about me. I don't know what it is exactly that you want to know, but I'm just going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you people what you want, so that way you can stop asking me. Then if you need to know more about me, I'll just send you this video. That's what we're going to do from here on out. You want to know more about me? Watch this video. Normally I do the 5 things about videos and I give you like some fashion tips and I give you all these different things. But today I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. I'm doing a 20 fact video. That's really different of me. I've given advice and I've done all these different things, but this time it's a fact video. I don't even know how to go about this. This is really weird. But I have 20 facts for you about me as a person. And some of them are really dumb and then some of them are more serious. So, you know, there's a little bit for everyone. It actually took me a long time to come up with 20 things about me that is interesting because I must be boring as fuck. And I have no clue why any of you find me interesting. I am one of those dreaded morning people. That's right, I'm a morning person. I love being a morning person. I like waking up in the morning and feeling the sunshine on my face. Like, I love having a window that is like, not necessarily open, but is kind of like the sun peeks through and then the blinds and then you kind of get the warmth on your face and then you just like wake up refreshed. I love that, especially during spring, summertime. Like, there's nothing better than waking up on your own, not by an alarm, not by somebody waking you up, but just waking up when your body is like, hey, wake the fuck up. There's nothing better than that. And I love waking up a little bit early so that way I can enjoy my morning, have a little coffee, maybe breakfast, something. I love the morning. I'm a Libra. Actually, I'm pretty much textbook Libra. It's pretty bad. I have this book of birthdays and stars and numbers, and it literally could be the definition of me. It's so scary accurate. I'm actually a little bit nervous because there's a part where I'm like in there where I have to worry about my financial future because I'm terrible at finances, which is incredibly true. So that part gets me a little bit nervous. But maybe since it's on my radar, I might be able to overcome that. I am Michigan born and raised. I mean, I've probably mentioned it a million times, but I've been in Michigan most of my entire life, mostly. I mean, there's parts where I moved away to Florida for a brief period of time to live with my father, but other than that, I've lived in Michigan my entire life. However, that doesn't mean that I want to stay in Michigan. Actually, my next stop is either New York or California. I don't know which one I'm gonna go to. It really comes down to several things. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm hoping Cali because it's much warmer there. And it's very sunny, and I like the sun. I'm a big fan of the sun, so let's hope. Come on. Believe it or not, I am a college graduate, or a university graduate, whatever you want to call it. I have a bachelor's degree. And no, I'm not going to go and get more schooling to get a master's or a PhD or anything like that, because really the degree that I have is in media and media arts. And really, it's all about not necessarily who you know, because that can only take you so far, but it's all about how you work and working with things and knowing different technologies and just going for it, and then, yeah, okay, a little bit of people you know. So if you know someone in the field that you like and they can get you where you need to be, go for it. Because school will take you this far. Well, I guess I should do it this way so you can see it. School will take you this far, but everything else beyond that will take you this far, and then up into the sky and wherever. Because school's just like a stepping stone. It's like a ground plane. It's really just to get you out there and help you with that part. I have a slight obsession with chapstick. I'm about to show you something that clarifies my obsession with chapstick. This is all chapstick. This huge container is filled with different types of chapsticks. And I've probably used some of these maybe just once. And I have duplicates. Like I can see right now that there's 2 vanilla soft lips right on top of each other at the bottom here. I've probably not touched one of them at all. So I have a bit of an obsession. Granted, I forgot about this jelly bean flavored one. Taking that with me later. I have a slight germphobia. And it's not like too terrible, but it's more so germs in the bathroom. I don't do well with public restrooms mostly, but bathrooms in general. Like, I like a clean bathroom. Granted, mine can get a little messy, but that's just because it's, you know, I hate dealing with bathrooms in general, so they end up getting messy and I hate cleaning it. But I'm trying to get better. So yes, I have a bit of a phobia, so I enjoy when bathrooms, public restrooms, have like little napkins. I know it's not necessarily great for the earth, but fuck it, I need that little vice in my life, all right? Just don't judge me too harshly. But I need that so I can open the door. I won't grab the door with my bare hand. I panic and it's really upsetting to me and I hate it. I'm an only child, well, technically. Actually, I do have 3 siblings, but they are step siblings, so they're not by blood. But I mean, I grew up my entire childhood as an only child. All right, I didn't have any actual siblings. People tell me all the time that I don't act like I'm an only child because there are those kind of mentalities you get when you're an only child where everything's about me, everything's, you know, like you're the center of the universe kind of mentality, which, you know, it happens because you are in a way to your parents. Now, I didn't have a normal childhood like most people. I grew up in a family of a lot. And I may have been an only child to my parents, but I wasn't the only grandchild to either of my grandparents. Anyone. So I had lots of cousins and they were always there and we always had to share and we were always together when I was little. So I feel like I kind of had a sense of brothers and sisters without actually having brothers and sisters. I mean, they did terrible things to me, like tie me up to the pole in the basement with duct tape. I went to film school. Not like some huge big deal film school. And actually at the time, it was a lot smaller than it is now. But I went to a school called Motion Picture Institute of Michigan, and it was in Troy, Michigan, and it was kind of like a small technical school that you only went to for 1 year. And I'm talking about the whole year, like including summer. And it was fun, and I did learn a lot from that experience. And the main thing I learned about that experience is I did not want to be in film, which got me into more just general media, and then got me to where I needed to get my degree, and here I am now on YouTube. I'm not sure if this was the smartest or cheapest route, but that's the route I chose to get here. I work in the radio industry. I like it. I'm a fan. I work in the digital world of radio, so everything that you see digitally, I probably have my hands in at least a little bit. I was born and baptized Catholic. Now, I may not be Catholic, or I am Catholic, I guess by birth and by association with family, but I'm not really Catholic in my own mindset. I'm not necessarily atheist or non-believing. I'm just not into the religious world, and I'm sorry, but to be honest, I'm open to interpretation, which is better than religious in my opinion. I am very spiritual though. I do believe that there are bigger things than us out there, and I don't know what they are, but I'm open to whatever people's opinions might be. And we might all be wrong, and we might all be right. And maybe there is a heaven, maybe there is a hell, and maybe I'll probably end up in hell, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I was the lead in the senior high school play, Zombie Prom. I was a zombie in a high school play. I was the lead zombie who sang. You've probably not heard of Zombie Prom, but it's actually a really good play, and it's very interesting because it's kind of about like acceptance and open-mindedness, which I love. And it's really funny because the way I try to explain it to people is it's Grease meets Little Shop of Horrors meets Walking Dead, really, because it's all mishmashed into this one little kind of cheesy play, and I highly suggest you look up Zombie Prom. Actually, I believe there's a rendition, film rendition with RuPaul, of all people, as one of the characters. So I sang in a band. I did. I sang in a band. In high school, early high school, like 9th grade, I think I was in a band. And I was the lead singer. And Tim, you know Tim from WhatsItToYa Productions, he was the lead guitarist. So yes, I was in the band with Tim. And do you want to know the name of our band? We were the Disciples of Chaos. We were a metal band. A hard metal band. I don't really know if we had a genre of metal because I know there are more than one, but we were a metal band. And well, we were a little punk rock too, because we liked some punk rock stuff too. So we were like mixture between punk and metal. We never actually finished a song, but we tried our damnedest. I briefly dabbled in runway modeling. I didn't really go far with it. I was actually in, I don't even know, I think it was in high school with this one too. I had a few people interested in going further, but it's hard when you're a high school student. I wasn't born into money and stuff like that. My parents raised me, and they didn't have a lot of money at the time, so like having me travel around a lot and stuff like that, they'd have to take it out of their own pockets, and hopefully something would come back from it. So I never really got very far with it, and I kind of lost interest after a while. Now when I was modeling, that did lead me into the next fact about me. And that was I briefly, and I say briefly because it wasn't brief really, it was probably about a couple years, but in the overall, I would say it's brief. I had a slight problem with not eating, and I would guess we would consider it anorexia. I wasn't super malnourished to where like I was getting too sick. I think my not eating when I was in high school because I wanted to look nicer and be prettier and all this other stuff, and I wanted to, look like model thin and stuff like that when I was in high school. Because I mean, I was thin, but I didn't have that perfect body type. And I think the problem is too, I was, 15 looking at these 20-something-year-olds who are fully developed in their chest and their body and their muscles, and I was just like this little 15-year-old who didn't know better. I have a slight curiosity with witchcraft and voodoo. Which is actually, it ended up being a good thing because I would have never probably related with Kiefer more because we both have those very similar mindsets when it comes to like witchcraft and voodoo, and like we're really interested in it and things like that. So I'm so happy that I have that, but where it stems from, I don't know. But I don't believe that it's evil or anything like that, and I don't believe it stems from bad. I do believe that there's some mystical things that we should, consider when we're looking at it when it comes to Wicca and witches and witchcraft and things like that. It's not all horse pucky, all right? It's not all bullshit. I have a love for voodoo dolls, and not necessarily like all voodoo dolls, but specifically little string voodoo dolls like this one that you can get at Hot Topic that is full of cat hair. Thanks, Dante. Awesome. This is my favorite one, and I used to name them all, but it just got so tiring after a while because basically I have so many. So I can't name them all, but he is my favorite. He's black and he's got these red stripes in his red eyes. He's so cute, and I just love him. And I want to go to Louisiana at some point so that way I can see like some real voodoo stuff and things like that. So I'm hoping soon that I can go and see some actual stuff like that. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan, and I'm not like one of those vegetarians that don't eat bread or dairy or eggs. I do eat dairy and eggs still because it's very hard for me to give up. I love myself some pizza, and I've tried vegan cheese, and I'm not the best. However, the vegetarian meats I am in love with. Like, I just had some vegetarian meatballs for dinner last night and for lunch this morning, actually. And they're so good. I finally found some. But I do enjoy being vegetarian. I think it makes me feel better, and I feel like it also helps my stomach issues again, because after I gave up animal fats, I didn't get sick nearly as much. So for me, it was more of a health reason to become vegetarian than anything else, but I can be happy that I'm not eating an animal because I am such an animal lover. This one's more of like a small, like really short version of a story, one of the story times, but I'm not gonna get into the whole details. But I did almost move to Chicago for a boy. I did, years ago, several years ago. And I was just so desperately in love with this person, and I wanted them to love me back, that I was willing to move to Chicago for them. But the problem is I was still in school and I wanted to finish my associate's degree before I moved. And I think I only had one more semester, so it really would have been only like a few more months, but they weren't willing to wait for me. And they basically kind of broke it off right then and there, and I never ended up moving, which is probably for the good thing, because I don't think, now looking back on it, I know for a fact that it probably would never worked out between us. I'm so glad I didn't go through that. I wasn't the most sexual person growing up, and I always thought that was a little weird because everyone else was more like sexually developed and more thinking about it and talking about it, and it was always on everybody's mind. And sure, like it popped into my mind. It's, you know, teens, we do that. It's just at that time. It just pops in. However, I don't think I had it nearly as much as a lot of other guys. There's a period in my life where I thought I was asexual, and before I even really knew what asexuality was and like what it really means to be asexual, but I just thought I was because everyone else had this high sex drive and they were always talking about it and always talking about their next score and things like that, and I was just like, eh. Now, it could be because I didn't really know my sexuality growing up. I kind of developed it more after my teen years and found myself a little bit. But I don't know, maybe I just grew up not being a very sexual creature. It wasn't until later that I developed any type of drive to even remotely go and find someone to do stuff with. I'm trying to be a little bit coy here. I don't know if it's working. And finally, my last fact about me, number 20, is that I buy lots of stuff that I don't use, or that I use very little. Like, I'll use it once and I'll never touch it again. Like my fucking chapsticks, for example. That is the prime example of something I buy and I don't use. Do you know how much stuff that I have that I've probably only used like once or twice and never touched again? I started up the drums when I was in high school. I probably played them probably count them on my hands, to be honest. So at least knowing that about myself, I can go into it and be like, am I really gonna use this? Most likely not. I mean, chapsticks, for example, you're probably only spending like a couple bucks, but like things that are more like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, you might want to consider a few times before investing your money into that. So that's it. Those are the 20 facts about me that I guess you should know. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you guys. This is what I got for you. I mean, it really took me a long time to get to 20, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. And if you did like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of me. And you can go into the description and like check out my social media, because like it's all down there. All of it. Like every social media that I've ever been on is probably down there. And you can also see my other channel, WhatsItToYa Productions, which you can find the link down in the description as well. So until next time, my little stalkers.